They got two guys that led their conference in sacks coming in. You want to upgrade a pass rush? Okay, well, let's add the Big Ten sack leader in Nick Scorton, and let's add the MAC sack leader in Cassius Howell.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs. I am David Nuno. I'm here with Nick and Carson. Carson, favorite part of the show?
The Go Hour with Olin Buchanan.
Olin Buchanan.
Why?
Okay, dude.
Can you give some substance behind it?
OB could probably give us the most accurate and up-to-date takes that you can possibly
Okay, give me
have
the one that you're talking about.
about the Peacock.
So you look. This is a football audience. You chose out of an hour of really good analysis because you didn't really think it through. You just wanted to talk, right? You chose Olin Buchanan talking about a peacock as the most accurate and informative part of the Go Hour.
That was one of the parts of it.
Okay,
the other
so
part
give
was
me an actual football.
24 and 24. His takes on Cassius Howell were
Give me a take.
spectacular.
Give me one take.
About how he. Oh my, we're
You don't
going
even know a
in-depth.
take.
About how he
I
plays
do.
football.
I do.
Yeah, he's a football player.
He's a football player.
And he attacks.
And how he says, he's going to be good this year. How he thinks he's going to help unlock the defensive line. Boom.
Okay, it's too late. Nick, favorite part of the show?
Everything you said today, David.
Which one in particular, Nick?
Give us a
The part where you
take.
played in the club. That was my favorite part. Yeah.
Oops, there was a mistake on
Yikes.
that one. And I waited for it, too.
Yeah, that was in a good
All
one.
right, here's the best
Here it
part.
goes.
Oh, wait, whoa, slow down. If you didn't listen to
okay.
it live, you won't understand because it was cut out. All right, Brad Logan was on the show to break down Ole Miss. We had Billy Liucci in studio. That was fun to talk an hour about preseason kickoff, practice starting this week. Chris Harrington, former Texas A&M defensive lineman, was on the show as well to get us ready for the season. That and more, it's TexAgs Rewind. So give me your if. Like, if this happens, playoffs are certainly in the conversation. Because the if that I see here, it's not an if for me.
Right. I guess I'm not going to break it down too much because I could focus my if on the offensive line.
That's where I was going to go.
I could focus on the receivers, but if Colin Klein's offense is as efficient at A&M as it was at Kansas State, then because I have full confidence that the defense is going to be a top 20 defense, and if not top 10.
Well, the reason I ask you that is because one of the ifs here is I don't think it's an if for me, right?
Okay.
And the if to me is the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the offensive line is the if in this conversation. What ESPN wrote there, if a supplemented D-line holds up. I don't have an if when it comes to the defensive line. There's no if because there's plug and play guys. If somebody gets hurt, next man up, and yeah. So that's
supplemented. You mean by
the Aggies have both
Nick
recent
Scorton?
I'll read it to you. It says the Aggies have both recent blue chippers, juniors Shamar Stewart, Malik Sealer, sophomores DJ Hicks, Gabriel Brownlow, Dindy, and intriguing transfers like Nick Scorton and Cassius Howell. The payoff could be huge here, but new coordinator Jay Maitman has to get the chemistry experiment just right. Sure, that's every position group in the world.
Right.
Even the ones that are established.
There's 131 teams in Division I now or FBS, and I would just bet as many as 125 would trade what they have in the defensive line with what A&M has in the defensive line.
Maybe
right
128.
Now. Maybe 130. Maybe 130. Yeah.
What do you think about Connor?
Yeah, I met him at practice when we went up with the boys. My oldest, Hank, wants to be a quarterback, so he really looks up to Connor, and Connor was made time for us, spent time talking to us, talked to the boys. We all know how talented he is. I think recovery from injury is really important. I'm excited to see, how he's moving and feeling, after surgery and, coming through that. Excited to see the team come together, start fall camp, but no doubt he's got the talent. Can he stay healthy? Can the team stay healthy? Changes in strength and conditioning coach. From what I've seen, it's been really good. Those are the type of things they've been doing are the types of things we did that helped us stay healthy. Love Moffitt, met him when he was at LSU. They've made structural changes, the way they're feeding the players, no more junk food, bringing in high quality proteins, old school Olympic lifting, sled pushing, working hard. Moffitt's a tough guy. During the off season, that's as a player, like your strength coach it's your daddy, you
Yeah.
know, like he's the one that you spend the most amount of time with, and they have the ability to shape and form, you know, this culture and this attitude. And so I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see us stay healthy through a season. You know, the things that go into that are strength and conditioning and, you know, how we eat and fuel our bodies. So I'm excited about that. So yeah.
How have you seen Jackson Dart grow, and what do you expect from him this season?
You know, I was asked by someone on another show where I projected him in the NFL, and I frankly said I don't know. I don't know that he takes a snap in the NFL. That would be a Mel Kiper or someone that follows the NFL draft and that sort of thing. But what I do know is that he is a perfect fit for a Lane Kiffin offense. He's a perfect fit for this Ole Miss football team. And what we've seen not only is what he's been able to do on the field, but it's been off the field. It's things coming out on social channels about throwing with different players on the team at certain times of the summer. Just the little things you like to see, David, that makes you think this quarterback's just going to be a little bit better than the other guy. And I think he's going to wear that SEC, SEC preseason prognostications, they don't mean a lot, but he didn't get a lot of love on those lists. I think that doesn't play a large role, but sure, I think that's something you tack up in your locker room. I think at the end of the day, you cannot take away from the fact of the relationship Jackson Dart has with his teammates, with head coach Lane Kiffin, with offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss, and how much he's grown as a quarterback at Ole Miss. And I think more than anything, everyone is really excited from a fan standpoint is that he is healthy this year. He was really bruised and battered last year.
Brad, I heard this from some folks at SEC Media Days in Dallas that, like, we all know how good Quinshon Judkins is. Obviously, he's a fantastic running back. But maybe in this situation, addition by subtraction, even though as good as he was, and you'd like to have him there, maybe the pieces that you got in place aren't as, I don't know, dramatic, if you will?
Well, some draft analysts have said that Ulysses Bentley IV, the transfer out of SMU from a couple of years ago, who's been a little injury prone himself, actually drafts better than Quinshon Judkins. I'm not sure I agree with that. Quinshon Judkins was a once-in-a-lifetime talent at Ole Miss. Things just didn't work out. He, of course, headed off to Ohio State. So I think from a talent standpoint, you have to look at what you have available. Ulysses Bentley, you get Amos, the running back out of the portal, and then you get a Henry Parrish Jr. out of Miami, out of the transfer portal, who actually started his career with Kevin Smith at Ole Miss. So the running back room should be okay.
And this is a dude that proved, in the opinion of this staff and those staffs you mentioned around the SEC, that he should be playing at this level. His tape said, okay, there's a MAC player, just like they took one out of Central Michigan, they took one out of Bowling Green, one out of Toledo went in the first round of the draft. That's who Elko and company pegged as their number one portal target at corner. Well, he ended up not transferring anywhere because he went number one or first round in the NFL draft out of Toledo. So these are guys that they eyeballed and targeted, and they got two guys that led their conference in sacks coming in. You want to upgrade a pass rush? Okay, well, let's add the Big Ten sack leader in Nick Scorton, and let's add the MAC sack leader in Cassius Howell. He had 9.5, 10.5 tackles for loss, started 11 games for them, so basically started the whole season. That's actually the fourth most ever by a Bowling Green player in a season. So I think, again, this is a guy that's played a lot of college football. You look at it, he's got what? You're looking at almost 800 career snaps at the college level. It's kind of like baseball when you talk about guys like Dylan Rock and Jack Moss and, you know, Boast and guys that get up there and you're like, oh, man, we've got all these at-bats between them. They're grown men playing a sport, you know, and that's what you're looking at with some of these D linemen now. What used to be youth now have played a lot of college football. Both the returnees like Turner, Stewart, and now Scorton, Howell, all these guys up front. Regis has played a lot. Rodis Johnson, who they brought in from Wisconsin, has played a lot. You've got a ton of experience now up front to go with that talent. But I think what you're looking for is that second and third. Not to say that Howell can't play in early downs, but you're looking for that second, third down guy that can get to a quarterback and end a drive.
All right, Carson, give us your favorite take of the things that the people should do.
They should like, they should comment, they should subscribe, They should share it. And they should try and get us to 20,000 subscribers because
We're far.
we're not super far, but get us up there.
By the way, I don't know if you know this. Carson was stopped at the grocery store the other day, and they said, "Hey, man, I know you from TexAgs. You do that show with Olin Buchanan."
That's exactly what they said.
We'll see you next time.